Hi guys, how are you doing? So we are entering into the Tuesday that is March 4th, and this is a new week for the first week of new month, and we would be having a lot of data, and specifically NFP would be coming in in this week as well. So we have to be prepared, and there are a lot of economic effects that are being implemented that are really that would be impacting the currencies a lot. And from from this, we can actually look that the tariffs on Canada and Mexico, that is 25% tariffs on the Canada and Mexico, would be starting from tomorrow. That is basically on Tuesday today. And on the other hand, the China tariffs would be go from to 20% from the 10%. And after that, the Canadian dollar has given us a great dump and the sell off that happened today. On the other hand, there are certain stocks as well that went on the really downside, like Nvidia. And this is all that has happened, has been affected everything out here. So let's jump into the data that we actually can see that at 12 a.m. we would be having consumer confidence for Japanese yen, and then there is euro budget balance, and then Spanish unemployment, Italian monthly unemployment. So it's all basically the euro data that is out there, and also unemployment for the euro that is coming out. Secondly, we do have pound 30-year bond auction that might be impacting. And on apart from that, we do have USD FOMC member speaks, and then Australian dollar GDP quarterly would be coming out at 7:30 tomorrow. So we have to be prepared about that as well. So this is the Eastern Standard Time that we are discussing, and then Bank of Japan governor would be speaking up, and then at 9 p.m. we would be having the Trump speaks. So of course the tariff war has been a major issue that is basically the impact that would be present tomorrow as the new tariffs would be imposing. So this is basically see that the China has rejected that additional tariffs would be implemented, and so there are like a lot of data out there. And today was US ISM services, that is the data for the purchase managers excluding the manufacturing industry, and 50% above is indicated good. So it basically tells about the relative level of business conditions and everything. So the forecasted was 54, but it came 52, a little bit of decrease. But overall, let's jump in to see that how the data would actually look. But overall, the most important data would be the GDP for the Australian dollar. That would be important, and as well as the speaks of the President Trump, and like other breaking news would be expected to be coming tomorrow related to the Canadian dollar, and as well as related to as well as related to the US dollar would be coming out. So these are the certain things that actually I can get my eyes on. So let's jump into the data of the price action that we can actually expect, that how things are specifically looking. So if we see that the dollar has been in a continuation of the downtrend from this point, and there was a break that happened, prices again tried to push on the upper side but failed, and we got a pin bar right here. And after that, price went down, broke the structure from down there. Price went into the range for a while, and then there was a breakout that happened for this range, and then prices again couldn't hold this level, went back into this original range, around about 50% of this range. Prices came back, and now prices are making an formation of the candles are looking as early bird right now, in a sense that it is just the beginning of the opening from this point. So price is opening around this point after this fall on the on the day. So it looks like the DXY is currently in a structure that is most probably like would be developing, and any sort of like a pullback wouldn't be like we can't expect the price to like actually go directly on the upper side like that. But on the other hand, let's see that how this range actually transforms itself, and we can actually understand that what could be happening next. In that case, most probably like the general public could actually see this as a support right here and can expect a move like that. But I believe that this is not how the things would be looking. Most probably, this liquidity around here would be taken out, and prices can dump further downside. And this is what I really expect right now. On the other hand, we can expect something like that as well, this bigger range right here, and we can see that how things develop in DXY. But it is right now quite early. We have to actually wait to see that how the price action actually forms right here. But we can actually see that the range of the dollar has been shifted, and it is still in the bearish sense, quite bearish. Like from this candle, you see the price has pushed down quite fast rather than like going up. It failed around this point, and after that, we can see that there's a big dump, and most probably like it can continue around here because of the tariffs. I believe that the prices can go on the downside. So linking with the understanding of the dollar with the tariffs, it's similarly that, for example, if the tariffs are increased, the currencies would go down because of the uncertainty out there. The companies would be in a big problem because all the companies that are basically importing the goods from the other countries now would be paying more, and the consumers has to basically guarantee to buy those products in order for the in order for the companies to actually bring the product from the outside. So something like that will be happening, and we can see that there is a lot of liquidity at the bottom as well. This is not a promising structure out here that can actually push the prices on the upper side like that. Most probably, the idea is that the prices would be going on the downside further with the new decisions. So we can actually see that how the Canadian dollar is being destroyed, in a sense that the US dollar is being pushed on the upper side. This is the US dollar is getting a strength, a small pullback, continuation on the upper side, price pulled back, moved up, came back down again, and then we again can see the strength. And now prices are on this high level. So any sort of pullback can actually break on the upper side. Seems like Canadian dollar is really weak, and we need to keep that in our mind that from the tariff imposition, the things would be more on the side of US dollar. And let's see that how this Canadian dollar actually unfolds itself. But most probably, like the way we can see the breakouts happening around here at this point, and the way the breakout is happening around this point, it's a clear chance that the prices can further go on the upper side like that, and maybe like reaching to that level as well. USD CHF is exactly following the DXY right now, and we can see that Swiss is strong. Swiss is considered as a safe haven, so we can see that prices are pushed on the upper side and now again came back down, and seems like it can go further down like that and even continue like that on the downside. We do have a small order block right here, and we can expect prices to come down there. We have a clear structure around here, so prices can go on the downside like that. But overall, it seems like dollar is weak in front of Swiss, and yens similarly has given us a downtrend from this point. You can see that prices tried to push on the upper side, failed, came back down again, a small range right here, a breakdown on the downside, and exactly at this point we can see that prices again pushed on the upper side but moved down and still moving on the downside towards around this point. So we need to actually update this chart, and we can see that prices are like breaking on the downside. Most probably like the prices can actually break on the downside today after this move, and the US dollar can get more weak with this move. Euro USD has given us a small range right here, gave us a breakout on the downside, and after that price made a small head and shoulder pattern right here, and we can see that the prices might break on the upper side further if the US dollar goes on goes towards dumping more. Euro GBP. So euro has been more weakened, is more weak as compared to pound. So you can see right here that each time the euro is being dumped, and again it's going on the downside because of the tariffs that are being imposed. So it seems like euro is more weak than pound, and most probably like this structure would be continuing till it reaches to that point down there. So Aussies on the other hand has been a weak pair as well. You can see that this was a move that actually happened on the weekend, and on Friday the prices went down. Most people kind of like triggered a sell structure move. I was most expectedly long here, but I got stopped out with this candle. Basically, it was a small stop loss, but uh, the trade idea was actually of longing that, and it went really good. So seems like Australian dollar is really weak as well, because Australian dollar is kind of like impacted by China. So things are the ripple effect is basically affecting. And similarly, you can see right here that euro is really strong as compared to the New Zealand kiwi. That the price is kind of like broke out of this structure, went up, and similarly going on the upper side, even broke our principle of interest level that was right here. We have to rechart this as well. So EuroCAD, you can see that right here, the prices actually broke out. Canadian dollar is super weak, and prices went on the upper side like that. Similarly, Euro JPY, it's like the prices are unable to push on the downside. After taking the liquidity around here, prices reached to this level, and then it got rejected again, and right now the prices are in an intense range. Euro CHF. So as we discussed, that Swiss is also really a strong pair right now, and we can see that the prices are like in a downtrend right here. Went down, prices started pushing on the upper side, and all these single prints were created with this bullish move, and now the prices are reversing around here. So might continue on the downside like that. So this is pound. Pound is stronger right now, much more stronger, and pound Aussie similarly broke out of the structure. Really good, and no pullbacks. Instead, like broke out really quick. And similarly, NZDs has also broken out. So this was the position I guess I tried on on this structure right here when the liquidity was taken around this point and the prices were forming. I did not take this trade, but the idea was that the prices can be pushed on the downside. But you can see that all those people who might be holding this position from here to here couldn't take this stop loss. They would have been like an extreme drawdown right here. So guys, always remember that stop loss is basically a tool to reduce the loss, and giving the stop loss is basically harder, but it actually helps you to save money rather than like lose money, and it is a risk mitigating technique, and we have to basically respect the stop loss. Really important example in front of you, that is really live example. Similarly, Canadian dollar is weak, price are pushed on the upper side, and GBP JPY. So what ended up happening that as the prices actually was forming this structure, and after this move I was expecting a pullback and continuation towards the downside, but instead prices broke on the upper side, and has been like, we can see a big push on the upper side, and after that then the price is rejected. So it might continue on the downside like that. Let's see how the yens actually reacts. But overall the structure seems to be underdeveloped right now. GBP CHF, we can, as we have like seen the correlation right now with the Swiss, that Swiss is stronger, so we can see the reaction that is coming in the pound right now from this point. Australian dollar is kind of weaker than the others, because you see right here that GBP USD is making this type of structure that is pushing on the upper side, while Australian dollar is that weak. and we can see that prices are pushing on the downside really hard. And this is the trade that is been taken right now, and seems like the prices are. The idea was that you can see right here the liquidity was taken, price pushed up, went down, and after that this range was formed. And as this range was formed right here, I wanted to actually sell it, but prices started pushing on the upper side. And as this type of structure basically broke out and it started forming this range on the downside, I was really insisted to like take a sell position. As I took the sell position from this point, the prices started rising on the upper side, and I kind of like held this position, and my initial stop loss was up above here. And after that, prices kind of like broke on the downside, and the idea was that Australian dollar seems much weaker than as compared to the other major pairs like euros, pound, and even New Zealand kiwi. So that was the actual reason to take this position, and it went really well. I haven't logged any profit right now out of this. Most probably I wanted to log around here, but maybe after the stream I might log it a bit early so that I can actually focus on the next trade. And you can see that the Canadian dollar was actually much weaker. So today we actually saw the implication of that, but in Australian dollar we couldn't find that reason, and Australian dollar actually made a sell-off direction from this point. On the other pairs we can't see this type of move right here which we saw in Australian dollar, so kind of like a bit of a anomaly right here. So similarly, Australian dollar is so weak that the yens are pushing it downside like that, and we can see this move that happened from this point. And similarly in the Swiss, the prices are pushing on the downside. Are really beautiful structures, guys, by the way. The moves that has been happened that are really easy and great, that prices went down again, great move on the downside like that. Australian dollar is weak, and I've benefited it from that. Similarly, New Zealand dollar is giving us a move on the downside right now, but not on other pairs like pound and euro. And the decad, a small move on the downside as compared to the Australian dollar, making Australian dollar more weaker. So that's basically the idea right now. And NZDJPY is like reaching to the pivot level. I don't remember taking this trade. It might be at the analysis. And NZDCHF, this trade was taken, and I got my profit level was hit, so I got stopped out. But you can see that how far the price has gone from this point. Really a big move, and sometimes it's better to take the profit and sometimes it's not, but it all depends upon the situation. A really good move. So CAD GPY, this trade was actually executed, and after that the reactions that happened each time the price is pushed on the upper side, came back down again, pushed on the upper side, reaching to this point. And after that you can see that my alert was right here, and but price didn't trigger that, and after that we can see a big sell-off. So the idea I want to like explain you right here, that as the prices were coming down, prices pushed on the upper side, again broke the structure, Again started forming the range, coming back inside, gave a move on the downside, again went back up, again made a double top right here, taking the liquidity and then giving a sell move. So I was trying to like achieve this kind of move that happened here from this point, well, of selling downside, but it actually happened from this point. So it's a good learning thing that sometimes the stop loss actually really helps, but sometimes it can actually crush up your trading plan right here. That is it is shown in front of you. So we need to actually remember that. And similarly, as we have discussed, that Canadian dollar is super weak, and Swiss is kind of like getting stronger. So this is the move that we actually saw. So overall, uh, similarly, yens are a bit stronger than Swiss, so that's why Swiss is also being dumped right now, but not like insanely within a range right now. So, guys, there are the two pairs that we have discussed that are really weak. Number one is CAD, and the other one is Australian dollar. So, so we can actually plan our trades in that, but we have to be careful with tomorrow's volatility because tariffs would be imposing um, at 12:01. So today is the last day for the traders out there who are merchants, but we need to actually benefit from all of this. So it's a really important hint that we actually devised right now that Canadian dollar and Australian dollar are weakest. So plan accordingly. And similarly, I would be planning my trades. Although one of my trade is actually running today, and this is the trade that is actually going good. Most likely, the prices can actually go on the downside. Actually, I want like target the measured move right here that actually begins around here and closes around here and might go down here. This is what I am actually targeting. But initial profits, I want to take it right here. Seems like it would be a good deal after the liquidity taken from this point. So let's see how things actually run. So overall, guys, the stream is over because we've discussed all pairs, and let's see how the price unfolds. Maybe in the London session we can see the moves, but are not right now. Let's see. Thank you, guys. Take care.